Hello everyone. I'm getting into my live sessions now. We'll wait everyone to start joining for you to get your notifications in. Hope everyone's well. Hello from Malaysia. It's 9:30 p.m. at the moment. I'm having my cup of tea. Kids are in bed. I'm doing the second week in a row now. So far, so good. I want to start doing these Instagram lives as much as I can, which is really interesting, right? Like my whole concept is sharing education, but I am doing that more and more with schematics, as you have noticed. And therefore I want to go more live so you are able to see who's the person behind Skin Masterclass. But today I'm actually going to be joined by Dr. Anjali Desai. She's an aesthetic doctor from UK. I'm going to be celebrating her success with you. And it's a phenomenon story, actually. So I would just want to quickly introduce her to you here. And if you're not following her already, I would really, really appreciate you going and following her. She's an incredible educator when it comes to skincare science, skincare education, skincare routine building. And she is actually a licensee of Skin Masterclass. She's one of the first licensees of Skin Masterclass, actually, because when we launched last year in October, November, she's one of the ones who's joined in our December Masterclass. So she's been utilizing the Skin Masterclass process for the past 11 months. And her business growth has been phenomenal. I have shared with you guys in terms of her consultations being up by 60%, 25% of her clients now, patients now being online, virtual. So she's basically able to connect with her patients in India, in Italy, in Spain. And we're going to be talking more about business today and how we can utilize our platform on social media to really grow our businesses online, because the world is going digital. Like it or not, the world is going digital. And by now, for example, me speaking to you, I'm connecting with all of you all around the world. So for example, now I would like for you to write, where are you from? Right? If you can now take a moment and write, where are you from? You'll notice that people, we're all connecting into this space of what we call Instagram, and we are all over the world. So it's just basically what we're going to be talking about, how we can utilize our skills, our education to provide consultative consultation to our clients, to be able to launch our businesses more virtually online, to increase our consultation bookings, not only locally, but globally, by being able to see our clients virtually online now, by using the processes that we have trademarked and developed in Skin Masterclass. So Anjali is actually one of the first ones that has joined us. So she's going to be giving you the hands-down experience as well. But I also really, really want to introduce her and congratulate her. The reason of being that is I don't think we congratulate women enough in businesses, right? We talked more about, and I do that a lot, right? It's part of the marketing. We talk about, what we can do for people in business, but then we don't take time to celebrate their success. And I believe it's very, very important. And I am going to be doing that. Anjali is one of the first women that I'm going to be celebrating. I'm going to be celebrating another licensing on Friday and another one next Sunday, because I believe we need to really, really put a lot of spotlight into people who are doing their best, not only by providing what they are doing like on a daily basis, but really, really spending the time to go online, to educating their clients on skincare, on consultation, on ingredients, on formulations, on skin. And I think it's really, really worth shedding some light to these wonderful women in business. And I believe Anjali is here already. I'm going to add her in so you can hear more about her. Okay. Right, we're hoping that it's going to be a session around like 35 to 40 minutes. So have a cup of tea ready. Hi!
Hi everyone.
How are you? That was a long intro, I know.
Good. No, pleasure to be here, and I feel honored.
Oh, and you should be like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I know we met like a year ago, but it feels like I know you for so long anyway, because we're constantly in contact with each other over the education processes that we have, over my bi-monthly support classes. And you are the one, Anjali, seriously, that who took the course and just did not sit on it. Because I have to say, and I'm not saying it in any disrespectful form, but many people come for the certification and then basically I don't really hear so much from them later on. Okay. But however, I really, really believe so much about putting your love and energy and passion into developing something and growing your business with the knowledge that you are learning and that you have learned, with joining your professional skills with the knowledge that you're learning from Skin Masterclass, really, really growing your business. And I think that's really key, because we can learn as much as we can, but if we don't put into action, there's no
well, I
output
think,
from it.
I think it's a credit to the course, actually, because that, you know, doing the masterclass, I mean, we had the initial weekend, but then the continuous support and encouragement that I got, not only from you, but from the other licensees. I learned so much. Like you said, worldwide, you know, we can reach people now through social media worldwide. It doesn't matter where we are in the world. And I think that's what I've really taken away from it and built on in my business.
Definitely. And we're going to be talking more about your business today. So I just really want to, everyone, whoever's watching this live or later on, later today, is to go and follow Anjali, because she does put a lot of effort into educating her followers. In like, I love your videos because they're very sharp and to the point, right? I love it. I love you put so much like effort into making like very sharp and very effective videos, and you kind of get a lot of information out of one reel of watching you for 10 seconds. So that's incredible. But let's talk about more about you, about where you're based. I know I said you're based in UK.
Yes.
What's the expertise? What services are you offering? I would love to know.
So I'm Dr. Anjali. For those of you who don't know, Chidem's already introduced me, but I'm a dentist by background. I qualified in 2008, and over the past decade, actually, I've been building my career in aesthetic medicine. And I'm fortunate to have a career, you know, where I can do what I love, which is the facial aesthetics treatment and the skincare, and build my business upon it. So my business is called Defining Faces. It's the name of my clinic in Edgware, which is in Northwest London in the UK. In terms of, you asked about what I provide. So I provide injectable treatments, and that's really where it all began, with Botox and fillers. And over the years, I've just developed a real keen interest in skincare and introducing treatments and procedures that can help really improve skin health and skin quality. So, you know, more injectables like Profilo, skin boosters, mesotherapy, but also the medical chemical peels and skincare. And I now offer consultations for skincare, face-to-face and virtually as well, which really stemmed from gaining all the knowledge from the masterclass and the encouragement from that. So since then, I have been providing virtual consultations worldwide.
That's incredible. And where's your consultations reaching at the moment? So you are based in your office in UK, and where can you potentially connect to? I want to also inspire as many as professionals as possible by thinking, because if you probably agree, right? Pre-COVID, we weren't really introduced to the digital world as much as we knew that we can reach people through Instagram, but we never knew actually we can reach potential clients or patients through Instagram as well. Not only just Instagram, but wherever platform you decide to be. So it could be TikTok, YouTube, etc.
Yes, exactly.
So where are you reaching?
I mean, I'm reaching all over the UK. So, you know, from local to up in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and then, you know, across to India, East Africa, Kenya. I have a few patients there, Egypt, Europe, so Spain, Portugal, Italy, I've reached. So yeah, it's been a wonderful experience, learning experience. I'm still learning, but I love it. And I think it's fair to say my passion really is skin and skincare. So I think that's what shines through.
100%. I think, yeah, definitely in terms of your passion, with the questions that you asked throughout the masterclass, and later on developing content based on what we learn in the bi-monthly masterclasses. So with your retinoid masterclass, but then I see you doing a retinoid education piece on Instagram, which is amazing. So you're converting that knowledge onto sharing it with your patients as well, watching you worldwide. So that's incredible. So I want to also ask you in terms of, how did you get into the skin or skincare business? Was it, you said it was your passion? Was it later on that you discovered later on that actually dentistry is my profession, but however my passion is skin and skincare? And what are the steps that you took to convert from dentistry to skin and skincare? I think we have a lot of people that are doing that transformation at the moment. So people who are listening later on, if you can tell them on what the journey that you took to where you are at the moment, that would be amazing.
Yes. So I qualified as a dentist in 2008, and soon after, a couple of years after, I got into the injectable side, and it was like a side business. You know, I'd see my patients alongside my full-time dental career. And then, as you know, I had my children, and you know, different life events happen. I found this career to be more flexible. I reduced my days in dentistry, and my patients in the aesthetic field were increasing. But it was really about 4 years ago or so, just pre-pandemic, that I introduced Obagi skincare into clinic. And I introduced it actually at that time. My thought process was, let me introduce a skincare range which patients can buy as an adjunct to injectable treatments. You know, they may come in for their Botox fillers, but they may pick up 1 or 2 products here or there. And that was my thinking at the time. And it was really over the pandemic where I think my respect for skincare grew. I saw incredible results with skincare alone, where patients couldn't access their injectable treatments, and they were turning to me for other ways. And that's when I realized that how powerful skincare can be. And I think it was around about that time that I started following you on Instagram, and you know, my passion really grew for skincare. I wanted to know more. I wanted to have more knowledge on it. And when you released the masterclass, I think I was one of the first.
The first sentiment, 100%.
I was really excited, and I'm so glad I did, because I have learned so much from that masterclass, not just the sciencey, the skincare, pH, formulations, but the business side of things, and you know, growing myself on social media as well. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing this. I really like it. Like, my ambition is always to be able to provide a platform where, and that's how, like, providing a platform where I can teach something that I am so passionate about, right? And I'm passionate about 2 things, skincare and business. And I guess, like, if I can rewind back, like, Skin Masterclass originally started, and if you are following me for such a long time, I've actually been on Instagram for maybe like 10 years, right? Like a very, very long time. But it was part of my, again, like my secondary job, because as you said, like life events, I was a full-time chemical engineer, and I was doing this more of a side hustle. Because I noticed that not many consumers understood about the science of skincare. So it really started more of a database for consumers really to get information out of skincare. And we learned things along the way, right? So it was consumers asking lots of information. So I done Skin Masterclasses in London, and then I was doing the acne masterclass, the pigmentation masterclass virtually through the pandemic. And then it was actually you guys that, like the medical aesthetic doctors, who actually suggested, Chidam, like, I know you're educating the consumer market, but how have you considered educating also the professional market? Because there is literally a gap in the market where, and you, correct me if I'm not wrong, but like in terms of brand trainings, you get brand trainings to sell a specific product.
Totally.
Versus what we do in Skin Masterclass, we don't take any brands. I give example of brands, but what we focus on is formulation, right? We compare like to like, right? Like we compare Obagi, BHA, salicylic acid, exfoliating toner to Paula's Choice, right? And we compare what is the difference between the two, what makes those two different formulas unique. So we take the whole idea of understanding a formula as a whole, and I guess that's something that, as you said, rightly so, like when you are so passionate about selling skincare, you also have to be passionate about knowing what you are selling, right? And I've been in so many incidents, I would say, and this is where my passion for business grew actually, is like I've been so many incidents where like you go to a retail store and you ask for a specific product and they say, no, it's out of stock. But I think the education starts there, right? If you are able to say to your client or your patients, well, that product is not available. However, the main active ingredient in that product is so and so, and this product here is able to deliver what you are wanting, then that's automatically an education piece that you can open up the ears of your clients and say, okay, wow, I'm now listening, right? And we'll talk later on about how education is actually selling products, not the products themselves, right? Because you can have the best product in the market, but if you don't know how to sell, right, that product will not sell. And what we are selling is not selling the product. What we are selling is selling the components of the product. Why is that product good for you? What is your skin type? What's your skin needs? What are the ingredients that are in this product? And therefore, this is the product that you need because you're going to be seeing benefits out of it. Soon as someone, and that's the reason why I believe alongside with your passion and hard work, it's the education piece that you are adding into your consultations that is wanting people to purchase more and more products from you.
Yeah, so I mean that was probably, I think, my biggest challenge, because I only had Obagi skincare, and the training on that was brilliant with the, I knew the systems, I knew the protocols inside out. But if a patient came to me and said, oh, I really like my moisturizer, or I love my cleanser, I didn't know whether that cleanser from a different brand would be compatible with what I was selling. And so that's where actually I wanted to reach out and actually learn more about skincare ingredients and formulations and what ingredients can go with what. And I didn't even know about all the, the pH and all the science that we delve into in the masterclass, but it really opened my eyes. And I felt, like you say, I felt more like, almost like a salesperson selling Obagi rather than an educator and a consultant, because I knew, I knew all about that range. But I found I couldn't quite incorporate it with other products out there. And I think that's important as well, because we have to listen to our patients' needs, not only their skincare concerns, but their budget and what they like and, lifestyle, everything.
Yes, exactly. And that's what we always say as well. It's so important to ask your patients or your clients, what are the current products that you are using before introducing a new skincare collection, right? Because there's a lot of processes possibly skipping that step, right? So just as an introduction, what we do in Skin Masterclass, we teach the 5-step process to be able to start a consultation by identifying skin type, skin needs, ingredients. And then step 4 is actually understanding what the current routine of our client or patient is. And if we don't understand that and we go directly into building a new skincare routine for them, and I always say this, our aim is not to sell 10, right? 10 products. Because if we go with that superior aim of, I want to sell as many products to this client or this patient, you are giving that energy. I always believe in that like vibe, right? You're giving automatic vibe that you are trying to sell something. So yeah, I've been in an incident where I've tried to, where you feel like you are being pressurized into buying something. And I have lots of clients that come and say to me, oh, I've gone to a facial and they gave me 5-6 products to try. And I look at the ingredients of that product. I think I've just shared this with you guys. I had a client and she actually went to a clinic to get treatment for her acne, and she was given L-ascorbic acid. I always say this, like, L-ascorbic acid is not great for acne-prone skin. And I think understanding these kind of specific things is what is good and what is possibly like could be aggravated or inflammatory for people with acne is a key on then building a skincare routine that would be suitable for them. So because she didn't know that, obviously she was using these products later on that was prescribed to her, and it was like a systematic routine. And then she was getting like, more and more acne. And I think exactly as you said, what we miss is not understanding what our client's skin need is and trying to sell a specific regime that we think that might be working for them, because we don't know any other. We can only sell these specific products. We can't sell anything else. And obviously we're trying to sell skincare products. So by automatically understanding what their skin needs are, and then by actually looking at their skin routine and being able to identify this cleanser is actually quite good. Why don't you keep this cleanser, right?
And that
This
works
moisturizer is
so
actually
well.
quite good as well.
Yeah,
Like,
that works so
keep this
well.
moisturizer. Yeah, like I found like when I do that, automatically clients will be like, oh, okay, that's interesting, because I know that you sell a cleanser, I know that you sell a moisturizer, but you basically practically said for me to keep my moisturizer. And I even say, well, later on, like they say, well, how about yours? Because they're not getting pushed into it, so they get ambitious to understanding why is it not that my products I'm asking them to use. And I'm like, well, no, you can use my products. It's like I'm basically telling them not to buy rather than to buy. It's almost like this amazing situation where you then asking your clients, no, you can buy my products. However, your product is also good. But if you can afford it, how don't we do this? Why don't you finish this product since it's okay for you, and then write to me, and then I'll send you those skincare products. So you automatically get the trust of your clients and your patient, because then now you're automatically an educator, right? You are keeping in track with their budget, with their interest, and automatically that trust bond is formed.
Yes.
Our number one aim is to be able to, of course, it's amazing to get new clients every day, but it's even more amazing that that client that we've just seen or a patient will then go and talk to her friends, her mother, and that word of contact, and then she comes back for a follow-up consultation, and we're actually nurturing our clients and our clients' database of people that is going to bring us more clients down the road. So I think that's so important to gain that trust, because then what happens is automatically, and we'll talk about that follow-up consultation, how it's so important then later on to follow up with your client, is a lot of time if we end up losing a client down the road, that's quite upsetting, because we've worked so hard to gain that client in the first place, right? So if we can nurture what we have, and as long as we nurture them with education and we're constantly giving them information that is practically serving them for their own good and not for our good, right? Automatically, trust me, and I always say this to everyone, it will come to a point where then people will be buying from you anyway, because they trust you.
Yeah,
and that's the question I really wanted to ask you as well, in terms of, do you feel like people are valuing this from your side as well? Like, do you feel like, what's the responses that you are getting from your patients when you are doing your consultation?
Yeah, like you say, it's all about building a relationship with the patient, and I think it's about the long run, not about the short-term sale. I think it's more about the long-term relationship that you build with your patient. So education really is key, because I think, again, it's all about giving the patient the ability to make an informed choice. The more I find that I can give them information on what products will work, and I can educate them, they have a better understanding as to why I recommend product X over product Y. But they have then the ability to choose, okay, shall I go for the more superior one, or shall I go for the slightly cheaper one, knowing full well what benefits they will get out of it. And all my patients are now, since completing the masterclass, I do book them in for their follow-up consultations as well. So we're building on that relationship. So between 16 and 20 weeks, when usually most of their products which they are using will be running out, we review again, we do another consultation. It's a bit more informal the second time, third time round. And we're just touching base really whether to keep that same regime or whether things need switching up. Because as you know, skincare is for life, but a skin regime will change with life changes and stress and hormonal changes, weather, etc. So I think it's important that patients understand that as well, that it's not a one time you've got your skin regime, that's it, bye bye. They are in then hopefully for life.
Yes, and you're constantly nurturing them, and they know that they have you also as a coach, right? Like, oh, I've used this product, however, it didn't suit my skin. I will ask my consultant about it. And
Yes.
for them to know that they have you as their consultant, because you are not there just to sell them skincare products, but you are there to take care of their skin and their skin health. That's the most important thing, right? They need to know
Yeah,
you
and
as the person there,
guide them. Yeah,
guide
guide them
you.
through. Yeah, guide them through their
Yeah,
journey. I'm always available, you know, as a point of contact if anything, if yeah, they are getting a reaction to something, or they feel something is not right, or the opposite even. They want to tell me about the, you know, massive improvements they've been getting
yeah,
with their skin. So I love keeping in touch with my patients, and again, it's just building that relationship, building that trust, and I think that's what you get from having a skincare consultant. You have someone to tell you, yes, okay, you're on the right path, keep going, this is normal, or no, actually, maybe we need to change this or bring the percentage down or whatever it may be, rather than just going buying things off the shelf, reading reviews or watching influencers and, you know, buying the next
exactly. Yeah,
trend.
getting like basically you are getting rid of and I always say, like, you know, what we are doing is we are getting you closer towards your skincare goals, right? And then, and this new term of skincare consultant, hopefully I'm one of the first ones that who initiated it, because we started doing these skincare consultations, like I was a skincare consultant for over 5-6 years, but no one really understood the role of it. Now, slowly, we're getting more into the understanding of what's the specific role, right? So, and I think like you in particularly, because you are trained as well, medically, and you understand the anatomy of the face, the skin, etc. For you to be able to then add on that I am a skin consultant, so I understand skin, but now I also understand skincare. It's such an amazing tool, because now you can connect the puzzle pieces together, right? So not only you understand skin, you understand the skincare, so you understand what goes in with specifically for each skin type as well. And I think that's an amazing skill to have, to be able to connect those crossing dots. And has that been something that you felt like maybe pre-Skin Masterclass that you were missing? Like, did you feel like you understood skin but not skincare? Like, what was the biggest challenges, I would say, in terms of for you in of selling skincare, or also during your consultations? Like, what was the biggest challenge for you in that basis?
So, I mean, like I said before, because I only had one brand in clinic that I knew about, I felt I didn't know how to incorporate other brands into it.
Yeah,
So I wanted to actually learn the basics and the you know, about skincare ingredients and how different ingredients interact with each other and things like that. So that's one of the reasons why your masterclass really interested me. And also my consultations at that point, I wasn't promoting consultations. It was more patients were coming in for their injectable treatments, and we would have maybe a brief discussion about skincare. And at the time when I just had the Abaji skincare range, I would go through maybe what would suit them. But there was no systematic approach to consultations face to face, and virtual consultations, I didn't even, they were non-existent. You know, that's probably my biggest takeaway from completing the masterclass. And you know, I'd say about a quarter of my patients currently are virtual patients, virtual consultation. So it's amazing to think that a year ago, if someone had told me that, you know, I wouldn't have even imagined. So I think that's definitely the biggest thing I've taken away from the masterclass.
oh, that's so lovely for you to be able to connect with everyone. That's incredible. And in terms of the first thing that you've done, like let's say you finished the 2-day training, obviously I always say it's like a 2-day training, but it's a lifelong learning, right? Because we cover so much that like obviously we have to be then going back and reading about it, and I give access to the masterclass so you can go back and rewatch it as well. So it's also we build up a lot about it, right? So because that 2-day masterclass is just focusing on the classes of ingredients, and then our consultation process, really getting deep down on how we can process our consultation process, and what are the steps of the process, how do we interact with our clients and our patients, etc. But then we also have the support masterclass of vitamin C, retinoids, exfoliating acids, business automation as well, which I think like is a key tool to really start automating our businesses, so we are saving up on admin time as well, because I think that's a massive part from what I felt as well when I was doing this pre having a process, right? And I'm a process engineer, so I've got a very process-driven mindset. And when I was going through, like, okay, now I need to write the report, and then I have to send it to my client, and then I need to remember in 4 months' time, I need to book them to a consultation, follow-up consultation. But in 2 weeks' time, I still need to message them because I need to check how they're doing. It just seemed so erratic for me, right? I had a lot of things that I felt like I needed to do. And in the end, as your client base grows, and that's the whole aim, right? Our client base grows. We're not going to be able to track those timings in terms of I need to message this person in 2 weeks if they're doing okay. I need to email this person in 4 months to follow up with their consultation. So I thought we need to have a process for this. Like, why did no one invent this before? Like, we have to have a systematic process where we can just tap in and everything's just so automated. So we talk about that a lot in the masterclass as well. And I think we have managed to save a lot of admin time, because you now send reports to your clients or your patients
Yes,
straight after the
pretty
consultation.
much, yeah, immediately. And I think not only does it reduce the admin time, but it actually also increases the skin sales. Because if you imagine we've just had a half an hour, 40-minute consultation, and everything is fresh in your mind, the knowledge, everything I've spoken about, you know about the products. And then as soon as I send you, a recommended treatment plan, it's more likely that a patient will commit straight away rather than give them some time. And then the more time you give them, the more questions that come back, repeated questions as well, because they forget. So it's a win-win situation, this systematic, I love it, the approach to consultations that I have. And I think patients really value it as well, because I have all the information from them. I haven't missed any details out. Everything is there for me to formulate and recommend a treatment plan or skincare products which will really help in their needs and their concerns. So yeah, it's great. That part has been, again, another takeaway. The whole consultation process of mine has completely changed. Well, to be honest, I didn't have a process before anyway. And admin time, everyone, I mean, time is money. So
yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, if you can turn around more consultations because you're cutting down on your admin time, obviously that's going to have an effect on your revenue at the end of the month. Like win-win situation. So you're helping more people, but then also gaining more revenue at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And I started, I mean, before I didn't charge for consultations. So I started as soon as that initial 2-day masterclass we did. I went on social media, I promoted, I was providing virtual skincare consultations. I felt confident because I felt like I gained so much knowledge, and I have all the notes to refer back to. You give so much information, even on your Instagram page, there's so much information there as well. So I felt confident to charge for the service, and I charge for my virtual consultations now. And all patients now that are coming through this way are, buying into skincare, because you wouldn't necessarily pay for something unless you were serious about maybe committing to a regime. So that's really helped as well.
That's incredible. And that's so true. I think there should be a takeaway from this session in terms of if anyone decides to take the Skin Masterclass or not, is about how we can educate our clients more, nurture them more, right? How we can make sure that they have a fun experience while they're going, while they're coming to see us, because at the end of the day, they want to, it's an hour dedicated to them, right? And that hour should be all about providing them the best service that they can possibly imagine. And if anyone provides you less than that in terms of, you go to see someone and you still have those questions in your mind. So if you're a consumer now listening to this and you go to see a doctor or a consultant, or go to even a retailer, right? This can be any retailer, and you go in and you still have some questions that is left in your mind. I think there is definitely an improvement to be made in that specific service, right? Because at the end of the day, we want to be able to provide as much information as possible that later on, even after having a skincare consultation with us, that they will then be able to go and use the knowledge that they learned from you, and go be able to walk into Boots, for example, and say, oh, Anjali told me that vitamin C is actually good for my skin, so then I will look at the vitamin C products, right? And she's also mentioned to me that I need my skin will benefit from glycolic acid, so I can now go and specifically look for the glycolic acid, right? So these are the key takeaways I think that many people, consumers, should be able to take. And not only the ingredients, but why that specific ingredient in the first place. Because the consumer is very, very overloaded with amounts of information that they always hear online, right? I am a formulator. I deal with ingredients every single day, right? That's my main bread and butter. Like, I formulate for brands, I formulate for myself. However, I still get confused with the amounts of new ingredients coming into the market. And then percentages changing, because we talked about it last week with Mo about the toxicologist pharmacist friend who came last week to our masterclass live. And it's about like the evolving changes in the safety as well of some ingredients being okay up to a certain percentage, and then a year later that percentage will then reduce. And it's like always trying to keep up with that. So I think it's so important to be able to educate our clients and patients to be able to know all these information, so they can then later on, in 4 or 5 months that time, even if they don't come to you, then they can go and walk into Boots, as I said, and be able to understand what you have taught them. And that's a lifelong skill as well. So we're not only saving them money, but we're also ensuring them that they do follow up and have a routine all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's what they, I think, are doing a lot.
Yeah, we just want them to be on the right path, and the better their experience and their results, the more they'll tell people about it. Word of mouth. I mean, I don't really advertise or anything. I'm on Instagram, but apart from that, I get a lot of word of mouth referrals. So that's what I think it is, just giving them a valuable experience.
Yes.
And helping them along the way, and doing it, from the heart, and rather than the sort of salesy. So now I just educate on the skincare, and then I do have a handful of brands now that I have in clinic, but then I will.
I was going to ask that actually. So from Obagi now, what are the brands that you're currently working with? Because I believe you said to me you increased from 1 to 4 brands.
Yeah, so I've got still Obagi skincare, because I think it's brilliant. There's Thought Claw, which is the hypochlorous acid, which again I'm a fan of. I've got a small business, Creature of Habit, and I love their cleansing balm. Dr. Levy, and there's a fairly new one to the market, which is Cell Derma, and that's all based on growth factors. So I'm trying to incorporate products which have different ingredients within them, which maybe the other brands are missing. So I've got a bit of everything going on. But then, I'll happily recommend CeraVe products and, over-the-counter products as well, if that's what my patient can only budget for, or if I'll go with that. That's fine. There's lots of options out there.
Yeah. And I'm sure now when you are doing your skincare routine for your patients, is that you are probably mixing and matching different brands together, right? Previously, probably, again, you probably didn't imagine being able to do that, because you were just focused on selling Obagi but now you can probably mix CeraVe with Obagi and then Dr. Levy on top, and
Yes.
and then the cleansing balm before that. So now you can basically make a routine not just specifically working with just one brand. And I
Yes,
think
of
that's
course.
also important.
Yeah, and
Mm.
that it's brilliant because I can decipher. I can just, even if a patient has a product I've never heard of, if they can just send me a screenshot of the ingredients list, I can decipher it, and I'm able to help them along the way and advise, is this fine to keep in their regime, or actually this other product would be better. But I always explain why. I think that's important. It's not just, oh, this will be better for your skin. If you give them a reason why, they really understand it, and often they will always pick the superior products. If they're given a choice and I'm recommending one which is more superior, they will more often than not go for that. So it's about education. Yeah, education is key. Education is power. Knowledge is power.
Yeah, I always say that knowledge is power. So we can never get more knowledge, i.e., education. So we can always try and develop ourselves as well for the better. And in terms of like, have you seen like, well, I know the figure anyway, but you did share with me, but I would like for you to also share, like, have you seen in terms of like your skincare sales going up as well? As you said, people will more often go for superior products as well, because they're given the choice, and you also educate them of why you think that product is better for them, and they trust you because you provided that trust and that service for them to trust you. So have you seen skincare sales rising as well as part of this?
Yes, for sure. And without even trying, in a sense that without even selling, yes, because like I say, the more information I can provide, the better understanding they have. And skincare sales have risen, but not only that, I'm pre-booking them for their forthcoming consultation, so they're tied in almost to a plan. And actually, at the moment in my clinic, I'm trying to get all my injectables, so those that have been coming for injectable treatments, trying to get them into the skincare consultations, because I think you can have skincare without injectables, but I think, if you have injectables, you should always have some skincare there, because your injectable results will look that much better. So I think everyone should have a skincare regime. So when I say, like, for skincare consultants like us, the world really is our oyster, because every person on the planet is a potential patient or client or customer.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's harder to sell an injectable versus it's easier to sell skincare products, right? And it's something that they would need to.
Yeah, but I think it's also.
You have to tell me, because I'm not in that market as well. But what do you feel like? Do you feel like people are more likely to go towards a skincare routine to try it out first before going injectables, or do you feel like, because you are right in the center of the business, and yeah, I would love to learn from you, or would they rather just go for injectables and may or may not use skincare along the way as well? What has been your experience?
The patients that I've been seeing for, throughout the 10, 11 years I've been practicing facial aesthetics, they have been having injectables with me, and they're not, I would say some of them are not so keen on skincare. They just think injectables are enough to keep going. But I think it's more about bringing awareness and education. So the more that I speak to them and make them aware, and even get them to try a retinol, or try one or two products, and try and bring them in. But I think the younger generation, yes, that are coming in, they're booking in for their skincare consultations, because prevention is better than cure always. And it starts with skincare, because you can even delay the need for injectables. But I do have a few clients and patients that are stuck in that mindset of injectables. So I'm slowly, at every appointment, I try and bring a bit of knowledge, and give them a bit of education about skincare, and try and get them on that skincare bandwagon, because I think it's beneficial to everyone, and beneficial long term as well.
100%. And in terms of, I think if there's one if there are certain clients like that, and like I think my strategy directly with those people would be, because there are some people though who say, well, no, I do want to go completely minimalistic. I don't want to invest in a lot of skincare because I do get my injectables from X, Y, and Z. And for those, I think for those people that who might have like a barrier of entry to buying, let's say, a full skincare routine, what my tactic is generally is I don't then try to sell them all the add-ons, like such as the serums or the exfoliating toners, etc., because I know that it will get very confusing if I add more than 2 or 3 products in their day and 2 or 3 products during their night. So there's almost 3 products that I think everyone would need, right? So that's a cleanser, because no matter what, you'll always have to wash your face. I hope so anyway. Like I'm hoping so, but like, you know, we always put, like, we do put mascara on, we put like some concealer on, like we do have to wash our face, like we should be putting our sunscreen on, and that's probably the second product. So a cleanser, a moisturizer. I think a good moisturizer, everyone needs a good moisturizer. So, and a moisturizer, normally I see like brands doing this, and I think it's a bit damaging, I think, for their reputation. I know I'm very, very transparent. I'm not, as you guys know, I'm very transparent when I say, like, I don't like the methodology of, here, this is what you use for the day, and this is your moisturizer for the day, and this is your moisturizer for the night, and your AM moisturizer is mixed with a tiny little bit of sunscreen 15, just to keep you happy. And but your nighttime moisturizer is exactly the same without the sunscreen. Okay, there are brands like that, and because I formulated or reviewed for specific brands that were looking that kind of methodology of selling. But so I would say that if you have a client of that, don't go for anything like that. Don't go for an AM moisturizer, PM moisturizer, because you're automatically putting two products in front of them, and they're just going to be like, ooh, too much, right? So I'll say a moisturizer that is good for the day and good for the night. So it needs to be rich enough in humectants, emollients. It needs to have the nice oils. It needs to feel hydrated. Vice versa, if someone has oil-free, you know, lots of oil, or it can be an oil-free moisturizer with a lot of humectants. So I'll say, like, keep to a good moisturizer. And, you know, Obagi has many of those, right? They have the rich moisturizer, they have a lighter moisturizer, right? So you can pick between that. And then also a sunscreen, right? A sunscreen, either a physical or a chemical sunscreen, depending on the clients and their needs in terms of like their sensitivity profile. I would say that these 3 products, I think, can be easily swayed in for them to be purchased. So that's kind of like where my tactic is. It's okay, I understand that you're going through injectables or you're going through a chemical pill, but these are the 3 non-negotiables. So let's try and find the best one for you, right? What's your budget? Okay, it's £50. Okay, let's try and find £50 worth of products that would be essentially just easy for you to utilize, and it's minimalistic, it's effective, and you are doing now by using sunscreen and moisturizing, cleansing your skin, is that you're prolonging the life of your injectables, right?
Yes.
So I think that's like quite important for us to recognize that there are still a way of putting some products into their routine, and then there are some people, right? And I think I've done this, one of these examples, and I don't know which masterclass was it in. Was it the exfoliating masterclass, I think. Anyway, like a client of mine which had like 9 products to use in the morning and 9 products to use at night. And again, as a skincare consultant, this is a best case scenario for when it comes to a client, right, or a patient. Like you know already that this client or patient is able to spend, because they have 9 products during the day and 9 products during the night. And I noticed with these, if you basically, and I kept this client for actually a very long time, like 2 years running now, actually. Because what I've done, I said, let's just minimize it to 5. Like, let's just cut down, like, to half, right? And then you're going to get a lot of better benefits out of it, trust me, because what you're not doing now is layering and layering and layering and layering and layering on top of each other. And then by doing that, they're like, oh, wow. So now I basically just need to spend half of the money to get better results. And I'm like, yes, exactly. And I think this is, again, it comes to trust, right? Like, because that person, if I said, well, none of these work, try these 9 products instead. Imagine the bill at the end. Right? Can you share some of these stories for me where, like, you either had a scenario where you convinced a client to buy more or less? I don't know, like I want to learn from you also, and I think this is a good way of how we can also educate the people that are listening in to us as well. What are
Yeah,
the
so
things that we
I mean,
do?
similar to what you mentioned earlier about the L-ascorbic acid, I've had patients coming in who are, you know, sometimes I think, oh my gosh, they know more about skincare than I do with the amount of products they have, and I'm using this and this and this. And there was a patient of mine using L-ascorbic acid, acne, and, you know, couldn't control it, breakouts, and you know, so again, it comes back down to the education and the advice that we give, that actually you need to take out that L-ascorbic acid product. Salicylic acid will be much better in your case, and just educating as to why. And often salicylic acid products are much cheaper than the L-ascorbic acid products, so
Yeah,
save
so much.
money. Um, so yeah, there are patients that I have, especially the younger generation, who have, you know, they buy into skincare trends, or they see something, you know, they'll buy something from here, something from there, and you know, they'll show me their regime and send me a picture, and it's just, you know, so we just need to break it down into what are your concerns, what do you want to achieve, your budget as well, and then, you know, and which of these products do you actually really like, and you know, and which wouldn't you mind losing, or you don't think really help. And then I
Yeah,
think from there, just take it. So yes, we can keep maybe one or two of the ones that they really like, or one of the ones that I think are beneficial, and then, you know, recommend others, or, you know, and it may not even be that I even recommend anything. It may just be switching some products around, taking some out, and then that's it, job done. It's, you know.
yeah, that's true. That is so true. You probably have patients that use like exfoliating toners and then use exfoliating serum on top, and then maybe even a retinol on top, and they're like, "Why is my skin so sensitive?"
Yes,
Like,
yes,
come on.
exactly. So these are the things which, you know, again, I learned from the masterclass, that you don't need to layer a salicylic acid, say, cleanser, then with a salicylic acid toner. So, you know, you don't need the two
Replicate,
products with
yeah.
the same ingredient. You just need one. And,
Mm.
you know, simple things like this. And I think that's the beauty of your masterclass, that you're not affiliated to any brands. It's just the science and the business aspect, obviously, that you provide with it. So, you know, then we can go back to our own brands that we've got in clinic, and then actually decide ourselves. Now we can make informed choices as skincare consultants. Well, actually, I know this is the recommended protocol by the brand, but now with my knowledge, I'm going to change it, and I have done so. So yeah, that's it. All comes down again to knowledge.
Exactly. I'm so, so happy that we had our discussion. And I want to finally finish off by asking you, now we're approaching 20, I had to think what's the year? Like that it's
Yeah,
past so quick. I was like, which year are we again? Like I forgot about the days, forgot about the months. So I'm like, which year are we again? We're approaching end of 2022. So 2023, what are the mission, your goals? Where do you see your brand going, expanding? What's the vision for defining faces, and what's the vision of Dr. Anjali? I would love to know.
okay. So I very recently have gone full time into my business. So it's only been a couple of months. So no longer practicing dentistry, and fully now immersed in my business. And my aim really is just to share knowledge and educate and empower my patients, and continue to do that. I've got more time now to do that as well. Just give more time to my business, to the growth of it. Continue with the learning, because I think the learning never ends. So I just want to continue doing what I'm doing. I have got some exciting plans, hopefully in the pipeline for 2023, with maybe a renovation of the clinic, and things
Oh,
like that.
amazing.
But yeah, I mean, as I said before, the take home point, I think, is that, you know, for anyone in skincare is part of your business. It's really you know, we can go global with it. And I've seen it now, I've done it, and anyone can do it, and everyone is a potential customer. So yeah, I think if anyone is in the business of skincare, then Skin Masterclass, I would highly recommend it. I've come away with so much. Um, it's unbelievable. But yeah, like you said, if you're open to that growth mindset, then you can achieve anything.
Mm. Oh, thank you so much. That really, really means a lot. It really, really means a lot. I'm so glad that it had a very, very positive effect on your business. And there's nothing more better, like as you see the health of your patients, right, after using a skincare routine that you've developed for them. That's exactly feels exactly for me when I hear you guys saying this, that it has had an impact on your business, giving you motivation, giving you courage, giving you confidence, expanded your business not only locally but also globally, increase your revenue, and opened up another new revenue stream as well. Because we're living in a day and a climate at the moment, sadly, where yeah, like our local market is getting smaller and smaller with the economic situation that is like experienced by everyone, like every one of us, we're experiencing it in our household. So by opening up to a bigger audience, we automatically are still able to keep up with that demand and even increase on that demand as well. So when things are generally harder, what we always have to think is that it's hard for everyone. And how can I come out from this situation the best way I can? How can I still like be the front leader of my industry by learning more, by educating more, by providing better services, by being able to provide something that no one else provides, maybe not many people provide, and having a really USB standpoint on how we can expand exponentially outgrow our business, not just locally and globally as well, and just and also knowing and trusting the process that if we work hard, right? I always say, like, it's not a make money easy scheme. Like, people automatically think, and I think we are sadly seeing lots of people like thinking that I can earn more by doing less, right? I'm maybe like a bit old school in that. I still work so hard, so much. I work like crazy hours because, I love doing so, not number one, but two, I think that's what sets us apart as well, because we are so dedicated to our business, but also serving our clients and providing more value. And so the Skin Masterclass Pro is not something that you just come for 2 days, get a certificate, and expect results tomorrow. It is not like that. If you want that, I am not the right educator for you. I attract people like yourself, right? And I hope to attract people like yourself that you have a growth mindset, you're process driven, you care about your clients and your patients, you care about your business, you care about serving others, and you know that growth and education is a mindset, not something that happens overnight. I aim to attract people like that, and I love to be partnering with people like that, like yourselves, to really, really help skincare consultants, the whole name skincare consultants, rise as a whole. And I'm working so hard with PR press to really, make everyone know that we are an industry, right? Skincare consultation is a thing. And
it's important. So important.
And so important, exactly. So, and that's why I really, really wanted to start off the whole, I guess, because I'm going to be doing this hopefully repeatedly with other successful licensees, but I really, really wanted to start off with you, like Anjali, because you are just so dedicated, so passionate, so amazing, such an amazing speaker as well. Like, I don't know if you realize how amazing of a speaker you are. I rumble. I can like talk for the whole night, but you say things so simply. I'm like, wow, that was so powerful. So that's like such an amazing skill to have. So I'm so excited to see what's going to happen within your business, because I know that you are going to do amazingly. And I just wanted to congratulate you in front of everyone. I think you're amazing. I think you are doing amazing, and I think you are going to do more and more amazing things. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hard.
It was a pleasure to be here. And if anyone has any questions on the masterclass, if you're interested in joining, I'm happy for anyone to send me a DM as well. So I'll keep it real with everyone, and I'll let you know how much work there is in
Oh,
there.
thank you.
But no, great program. Highly recommend.
Oh, thank you so much, Anjali. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and everyone else as well. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's been
Thank you,
great
Steph.
talking to you. I'm
Thank
going
you.
to be saving this masterclass where I'm going to close that again. Like, hopefully it will allow me to tag you along so it gets shared on both our platforms. I tried that last week for somehow with Mo, but it didn't work out. So I'll do that. I'll share it so it will always be forever on my grids. Your beautiful face.
Great. Thank you very
Okay.
much for having me.
Take
And
care. See
good night.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye. Thanks, Anjali. Take care.